So I think, I don't remember, but so I don't know if I went over Easter or not.
Because we didn't have the meeting.
That's what I thought. Okay. So real quick, the Easter Bunny was super successful. I think it was the most attended yet in my tenure.
Well,
Not tenure, in my time. There was a lot
There was a lot.
of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic. I mean, you saw, but a lot of people had left
next
when
time,
you.
just bring your pizza earlier.
That was the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
People
That was my
didn't
fault.
know.
I was there at 102.
Yeah.
Last year I was there at 105.
I know.
I think
And
it
everybody was
was
still
it that
there
there
this year.
weren't games. Was that
I don't
not our
know.
games, but sports games? I wonder because it was so early this year.
Yeah.
I don't know either. But
But it was good.
yeah, it was great. And I think that moving the time to 11 o'clock helped maybe.
Mhm.
Look at weather and I don't know. It just seemed like it was better. I moved it to 11, so I know that for next year. So that was great. And then I did a little thank you to Chief Spain Naval because that would have been his last event with us before he retires. So that's bittersweet.
Yes.
And then T-ball started. We're actually, I've only had to cancel once. This past Saturday, I moved them inside in a torrential, pouring, freezing cold rain and kept them occupied for about 47 minutes. And then we turned it into dodgeball. It was just something needed to happen. 43 littles. So we played dodgeball for 10 minutes. And
Anyways.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Final.
That's right.
it was epic, and everyone. I think the parents were very thankful for me having T-ball that day to get them out of the house. So actually, we'll be ending June 6th. Actually, that will be 8 weeks. No T-ball Memorial Day weekend because it's just too crazy.
Yeah.
Like with the parade and families going away and traveling and everything. So I stated that in the beginning to the families. So no T-ball Memorial Day weekend, and then ending June 6th. So that's already like here. Zephyrica Park activities, it's the Northampton Childhood Family Organization, something. They come over and do a lot of stuff at the library. So they had asked me if they could come do a storybook walk. So they take a story and they like make a book and put it on like stakes, and then you can like walk through the park. Of course, it was like the day that they had it up, it was raining. But it was great. I think a few families got up there.
It's open to have the families too, right?
Yes, it's called it's Hadley Northampton area something.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually came to the preschool and kindergarten information night. So they're very active in Hadley. They're wonderful.
Good.
So that was nice. And then I want to plan for Zaturka Park to do, I have to watch the weather, but like an outdoor yoga class, which I think would be nice to get into the park and like use it more than just like the playground, because there's that whole back area that's like beautiful. And I never get up there. I don't know why. I just don't ever go that way. I know you guys like, you go by it every day.
Yeah,
So
It's always, it's very busy.
She shoveled about 12 yards full of bark mulch, and she doesn't want to see it anymore.
no, I just did 7 at my house again, so we're fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that will be fun. So I'm thinking it'll probably be July, I'm thinking. Because June I'll be in the heart of soccer and stuff like that. So I'm thinking July. And then the fitness challenge that I was gonna do, only 2 people were really interested, so I'm gonna try to relaunch it again. So I was gonna do a step challenge. And then I got some prizes. I can't tell what they are, but I got some small prizes. And I did it in my CrossFit. That's what like kind of gave me the idea. And it was great. There was 18 of us, and you had to do 300,000 steps for the month of March. And it was awesome.
10,000 a day?
Yeah,
I've
Yeah.
been doing that for 8
Yes.
months right
It's a
now.
Thanks.
challenge, it's a good challenge.
And usually over 10 a
yeah,
day.
yeah.
I keep
So
her walking.
it was actually amazing
It's
because
really working.
someone
Nothing
got
to
400 and over 400,000 steps. He walks everywhere. It's like so
Who's that?
awesome. Someone who I CrossFit with.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was really cool.
And many people run. I hate the runners in my group. I actually do it with a South Hadley and Granby group, and we have to post it by midnight every day. And
Oh,
people
wow.
that run, they're runners because they're doing like 16,000, and you're
Mhm.
struggling to make 10.
we averaged like 19 or 20,000 a day in Ireland.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
It was crazy.
People do that at Disney too.
Mm-hmm.
My watch was very proud of me.
You're doing a workout. Are you doing a workout? Yeah.
Yeah. What do they say? Would you like me to?
Record your indoor workout or whatever. Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get something going like that again. I think it'll be fun if the weather ever kind of turns.
I know I can't win anything, and that's okay. I just,
It's like helps people be accountable
That's all.
too. You
You
know.
pay $5 a month, and it's
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to obviously win the prize.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
does. It keeps you accountable.
I would show you, but it's on my desk. Literally, I got a sticker this big, and it says like you won the 300,000 club member, and it has like it says like Norwalk CrossFit on it, and I was like so happy just to get this tiny little sticker.
I know. I
Like,
know.
like hey, So that's on the radar, and then fast forward into April. So the multicultural, it's actually called multi arts camp that I did at HES was so fun, so lovely, awesome people. They came in the Sunday before break to set up. We had the rooms already like all kind of like designated. So they were staying in, they needed 3 classrooms and the cafeteria for the stage because they did theater, painting, beading, crafting. They made like stuffed animals. They brought everything. I literally just had to like be there to make sure.
that's awesome.
Yes, she is wonderful. So she actually reached out to me Sunday night. So her summer program, she normally launches it at Hampshire College, but with the state of Hampshire College possibly not being here, she wanted to talk to Principal Dowd and I to see if she could possibly rehome to HES for next summer,
Oh.
which would be awesome. And she does it from June 15th to like right in the middle of August. So it's like 2 months. And she's fully staffed and she's lovely. So that's on the horizon. So we just Jen and I would just have to figure out as far as like the school summer situation is, and obviously get approval from Dr. McKenzie. But it was so nice. They were just such great people. All her help that she came with, and yeah, it was really awesome.
Is it all adults, or is there opportunities for like Hopkins students?
There's definitely opportunities. Yep, and there were actually more than a handful of Hadley students that I knew that came through. And I think it was so nice and different because it wasn't sports, and I'm so used to being around sports. I was like, is anyone in the building still? Because everyone it was so quiet. And I told her that I was like, I'm so used to like just noise because of sports, and it was awesome, and they love so that would be great. So I followed up with Principal Dowd, and we'll go from there. I mean, it's a year away, but we start planning pretty much that quick. So
Sounds like a good chance for a repeat engagement.
yeah, it was great. It was really great.
Cool.
Town meeting childcare, that's kind of like, this agenda was done before I posted it. So I thought I was going to actually help out with that, but, Sarah Goodwin, she and her and Denise Barstow Mans, they pretty much wrangled the whole thing in. Principal Dowd was there and they had enough teachers and staff and high school students and everything, so that was great. You know, I offered to collaborate and they said if they needed me, so I just checked in with them a couple times during town meeting. And they actually had, I think, I don't know what the final count was, but the day before when I checked in with them, they had 32 kids signed up.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's good.
Yeah, so if we can do that regularly, that's great, because that's that many more families that we're able to get out, you know what I mean? So that was, so that was great, and then the last thing that that's on my radar, which I've been thinking about, is fall soccer. So I know prior to me coming, at one point, which you guys might have to clarify, were we not in Roots and we were just in Frontier, or we always been in Roots?
We were not in Roots,
They're just Hadley.
just
Yeah.
had.
Just Hadley.
Yeah.
So Hadley playing who? Do we know?
At Northampton, it was actually, we were under the Hamp,
You were involved in that
Rec.
meeting? I
Yeah.
had nothing to do with it.
yeah, our soccer used to run, you just go play the different Hamp teams. I think they had 3 teams and we had 2.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it was. I'm talking way back. I'm trying to think of the last time
Yeah,
that
it's
we
like
did not have Roots was like Marley, maybe.
Yeah.
So she's 22, like 10 years, 11, some odd, I'm going back. Because we were undefeated for 4 years when we played Northampton. With the guys and the girls, so they got real boring, and then this other changeup was really good. When we went to Roots and that. But now you've got, Frontier's got great programs, we never really dipped in that water, you know?
And I think, so like, we now just play the Deerfield, Sunderland, Amherst, for baseball, for
Yep.
Cal Ripken, that's
Oh, okay.
only, so Amherst only has Little League, so we play 46-60 when we play at Amherst, which was an absolute nightmare,
Oh,
because
wow.
for a month and a half, we're practicing at 57.
Yeah.
So all of our shortstop and second base throws were way over the
Oh,
head
yeah.
of the first baseman because they're used to throwing it 10 to 15 feet
Mhm.
further. So the arc of where the ball's coming down is well behind the first baseman. And it was an interesting game. Yeah.
So the reason why I'm bringing it up is I don't know if I've expressed my struggles with MISA, so the Massachusetts Youth Soccer Association, and Roots. Unfortunately, to be part of Roots, you have to also belong to MISA, so Massachusetts Youth Soccer Association. So they are basically unavailable. Like they're unavailable. They just want basically their revenue, and then you just like figure it out from there. So they have all these new mandates. Every year there's like new mandates for safe sport for coaches and me and administrative wise, which is fine. Their fees are going up. So for each kid that registers, and typically we don't usually have 3-4 team. It's usually, well, no, sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6 we have, but then the first and second graders play in the Frontier League. So for every kid that registers, last year was $11 per kid that we just have to pay just to MISA. So it ends up being like around, say, a little over $800 that goes just to the state soccer association. Then Roots, you have to pay for their costs. So basically for their refs, for their, I don't know, I think they play 2 games maybe at Roots, everything else. and I found the invoice, so for Roots, that's what we paid last year on top of
Myself.
MISA,
Okay, so that's what, $2,600?
about. So I reached out to Roots. I have a good relationship with the two people who basically are like the admin there, and I'll just read what they shared with me. I told them we were having a meeting and my concern. I know the upcoming first and second graders, their families. You remember last year how we had that meeting? They ended up really loving the Frontier League, like absolutely loving it. And we had a gazillion kids. So I'm just thinking of the future and what Roots might look like. So this upcoming fall would kind of be like the last of this traveling, so to speak, if you want to call it, because Roots, they go a little bit further. League. So Roots is really becoming difficult. So I'll just read really quick so Dave Barton wrote back to me, and he basically just summed this up for you guys because I told him that we're having a meeting. So he just said, first, I want to sympathize with the ongoing issues you've experienced with the registration access. We understand how frustrating this has been because all registration and rostering runs directly through the state governing body, which is MISA. Our ability to assist you is somewhat limited as to have a route to all fixes through their office. A significant part of the recent access issues stems from the turnover of officers in my position. So I guess all the people that were before me were still in their system. So adding me as an admin was 3 years later virtually almost impossible, which I find that hard to believe. But so it says it jammed up the state database regarding who should have access. So basically for 3 years I've been battling to get access, which is how I have to get the kids registered. Jeff has been in touch with MISA this week and has been told that duplicates have been removed and you do have access. There are strict requirements for any adult involved, including me. The initial slideshows take under 2 hours to complete. Then each year there's a shorter one, an hour refresher, blah, blah, blah. And then he just tells me all the modules that I'll have to do. He did offer to come in person and go through everything with me. He said we would very much like Hadley to continue to participate, but we want you to have a better experience in the registration phase. To do this, I suggest we roadmap a couple things, and then he put the four things down that I would have to do. So I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts about this upcoming fall. Is that too soon? Should we just continue doing what we're doing? Can I pull out of Roots and be in the Frontier League? Is it going to be very controversial?
I would, but everybody here just turned to look at me.
No, I just-
Well,
I know you're not
Well,
even in
she was looking at
soccer.
you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, no, you were directing it to Jill.
Put it out to the parents.
Sorry.
If we can put it, no, if we put that feeler out to the parents, and it doesn't have to be a snap decision, but I think they will have a big say in what you're gonna do, like when we put it out to the parents and we had that special meeting, and then they kinda like, wow.
yeah, because
Here's why
last
we've
year,
always been married with Frontier, and I think you'll like this, but it's just coming from us from experience. Get the temperature, what they're, and it doesn't have to be, you're gonna keep, the more correspondence you get where they can't make a simple administrative change and stuff like that, it's like, that'll drive you.
Yeah, and
Make your decision easier.
I start in June,
Yeah.
and they don't get back to me until a week before all of this has to be in, and they have a strict deadline. And I'm literally struggling for 2 months. My whole summer, I'm struggling to try to get the teams rostered. And the kids have to you know, they're very strict, which I appreciate their strictness for it being safe.
Yeah.
So the parents have to send me a current, we're talking like a current, just a headshot of each kid. And I have to upload that and all the information into this database. And I haven't had access. So I literally have had to duplicate the spreadsheet and send it to Roots, email by email by email for each kid. And then Dave, who sent me this email, has had to go in and act as me and register each kid for Hadley. So to pay all this money, it just seems like it just should be easier. But I understand like the families might not feel that way.
No,
But I'm
reach
also
out to the
looking.
families now and say, hey, listen, this is the struggle that we're going through.
Okay.
I don't know if it's cost effective for you guys because it's gonna now cost X amount per child to play. Is this something you wanna do? If so, we'll go forward with it. If not, I mean, no matter what, you're gonna have a select group of families that think their kids are going to D1 next year
Yeah.
in sixth grade.
Yeah.
So they're gonna wanna go to Roots and you're gonna have that anyway. So let them go and do their own Roots program. You don't have to deal with, I mean, if that's the route that they choose. If a lot of people just wanna play in the Frontier League,
Mm-hmm.
a majority
Mm-hmm.
wanna play in
Yeah.
the Frontier League, just do the Frontier League. You'll
Yeah.
get a couple of those kids that wanna travel that just do that for ease. And you'll get the couple of kids that wanna play. It is more competitive.
It is.
Also, from what I've heard, a lot of the Hadley teams went to Roots and just got beat up by other teams. There wasn't very many wins. So I don't know what you're teaching the kids. I don't know whether that brings kids back after they go and get their teeth kicked in week after week, or whether you want to go and play in a like competitive league
Right.
where
Yeah.
you win a few
Valley
games.
level.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've always been on the path of, it is Park and Rec.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna have a strong contingent of just
Yeah.
wanna show up and they just wanna stretch their legs and
Yeah.
have fun and be with their peers. They wanna have fun at
Yeah.
certain age levels, and then it goes up, and then you have that option.
Yeah.
You wanna go to more competitive, yeah, feel it out, making whatever type of survey or sending a, blanket email, hey, this is what our options are.
And also, just like, I can't put it to the families to absorb the cost of the registration fees either.
Yeah, we can't pay for them.
That's-
They have to eat them. If you want your kid to play in Roots, you've got to pay for your kid to play in Roots.
So if I haven't changed the price in 2 years, I've raised it once since I've been here. Do you think that I'm able to do that?
Let
would
them
have to-
know what the cost is when
Yeah.
you send out the
Right.
The
survey.
real
Right.
cost.
So
Transparent.
it costs us X per kid to
Mhm.
play in the Frontier League, and it costs X
Yeah.
per kid.
Okay.
This is
You could
the
lead into it like
anticipated
that.
cost
Yeah.
for
Okay.
you to play in the Roots League. Please, I want you to have all the information before you make your decision,
Yeah.
because I don't want somebody to say that they want to play in Roots
Mhm.
and then go, wait a second, I can't afford $300.
Yeah, but we always paid this. Well, everything's going up.
Yeah.
As we know.
Right.
So get a real tag on it.
And that's what I'm trying to anticipate too, because essentially you tack on uniforms on top of this, just, it's like a wash.
Yeah.
So add
Pretty much.
20% to uniforms for what you paid
Yeah.
last year. And then, because that's what it is, everything's gone through the roof.
Yeah.
You
We gotta
know,
anticipate rising costs, so
yeah,
we gotta meet that and sustain what we're trying to do. Make an affordable program, but also stay afloat.
yeah, we don't need to make money off of it, we
No.
just need to be able to pay the bills.
Yeah,
Right.
right. I mean, that's the thing. It's
Crunch those numbers.
The only money that we need is for when we have to pay our half of a referee, stuff like that. Other than that, we don't need to make any money.
right. Okay. Well, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I mean, it's gonna be June before you know it. And I always try to get stuff to HES home with the families. The wonderful Kelly Higgins always puts something in the newsletter for me, digitally. So that's always helpful to get the families start to think about soccer before
Isn't the deadline like July 10th to get everybody signed up?
they put it in. It changes every year. It's usually in July, but no one actually comes back to work until August.
Oh, okay, well, that's helpful.
So it's crickets when I'm like chomping at the bit to try to get it wrapped up so that I know that once I get the email saying everyone is rostered, I'm like, "Phew, okay,
Yeah.
like, cause it's like that important
Yeah.
for these leagues,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Frontier is just like, oh, you wanna add a kid? I
Right.
just sent an email, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll throw them in, no problem, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's pretty intense and, you know, I mean, you can make some mistakes if kids are
What do you have to pay the Frontier League per kid for them to play?
nothing,
Nothing?
nothing,
You just have to give them money for
Nothing.
refs?
nothing. Nothing.
Hmm.
I sent an email.
I'm not a math major,
I know.
economist.
I sent an email to a wonderful Jim Ewan and tell him how many teams I have, how many kids I'm sending, the coach's first name, last name, and email, and a cell phone number.
It'll get easier now.
No.
And they're so wonderful.
But I know that Roots is a nightmare, but I'd still, if there's an interest in it,
Absolutely.
I would offer it.
Absolutely.
I know it's a pain and I'm sorry, I know you don't
No,
want
no, no, no. I just wanted to bring it up again because I think the families coming up, it might not be this year, but the families coming up, I think might not have interest in Roots. So,
I think it should be something that you do every year, because last year they said, oh
Yes.
no, we don't want to
Uh-huh.
play in
I
Roots.
know.
And then everybody said, well, we want to play in Roots, and so we
Yeah.
ended up playing in Roots. Because they didn't think that anybody wanted
No,
to play there.
Frontier.
It was Frontier.
It was Frontier. It was the
Yeah.
littles. It was the first and second graders.
Okay, alright, yeah, I figured.
Yeah. But yes, so that's why I'm already thinking about it because I'm
No,
like, oh wow.
two parents didn't want to play travel soccer.
Because they thought travel soccer meant like West
Right.
Springfield and like Agawam and those places for the first and second grade teams.
Okay,
But then when they realized it's just Whately, Deerfield, Conway might be the
Okay.
furthest.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's ice cream
There's
along-
Yeah, yeah. Then they, sorry,
It's small
I
packet.
didn't have dinner, so I was like, well, the least I could do is put some candy out.
I didn't either. It's dinner.
Fun is bigger.
So I will do that, this week and see what,
Yep.
comes back with. And then we can discuss it for our June meeting, and then by then it'll be go time,
Mhm.
pretty much. And, okay, so thank you for that information and advice. Any notices or anything to be discussed within the last 48 hours?
Yes, I had a couple.
Okay.
So I went to candidates night. Good job, Jim. That was nice to see you there. There were not really contested positions, so it was like 2 people came, literally,
Oh, wow.
in that whole seating area. I mean, 3 Mothers Club people were there, but I think that truly it being televised, like people had even messaged me on Facebook saying, are they recording it? So that may make people feel more comfortable, like on a Monday night saying I'm staying home watching it, or just that it wasn't contested. So, but after that, I went over to the CTA meeting where I sit because of this board, and we have money to spend on things. And I was gonna text earlier about it, but basically, looking for some brainstorming of ideas, and it doesn't need to happen, but things that maybe Park and Rec might want to approach them on in terms of doing something. Like what we've done with CPA before was when we greatly helped out the PTO, when we did the pavilion over at the elementary school. And a gentleman on the CPA had brought up a river walk
Oh, wow.
or boat access or
Creatable echoes?
creating it. I mean, there's one, I guess now in some pond or something. I don't even know, truthfully. I thought it was the one down on
You got a little
Lake
like
Valley
Warner.
Pond.
You got
That's
that
what I
one.
thought it was, but
Yeah.
I don't think it was the one they were referring to. So that kind of had, you know, my mind going like, wow, that would be nice. Like, I don't think we've ever really elaborated into a river walk or,
Something
you know,
else.
something, you know, people are putting their boats in wherever, whether, I don't know
That's
if they
so
go in
interesting.
reservoir or
Do you know where they were talking about? Because all that land around there is privately owned.
You mean on like the
Like
dike, for
Mount
example?
Warner. Oh,
I don't-
that
We're staying in Connecticut,
Oh, okay.
right?
Oh, yeah, there or whatever. I mean, I want to say it like in a way, like the options are endless. It's not just that. Jim?
Today,
Yeah,
that's why it's less than 48 hours, spoke to a former representative about how best to go about getting more money for the basketball pickleball court project.
that was in the front of my mind too.
And because I know that they want matching funds, and I told him what it was going to cost ultimately, and he said, good luck getting that amount of money.
So the thing is that I believe the percentage that you contribute varies. For example, I was sitting next to the Historical Society person yesterday, and they have $900. So
That's
they're
your
like,
total
we
budget.
can't, yeah,
Yes.
they're like, we can't give, all that we need for the signs, like making history and all that they're doing. But so it could vary. And I know our friends of Park and Rec is kind of,
Go.
but Steve here, and since Steve didn't pull papers like he said he was, anyways, I'm just saying, like, we could get, not necessarily Steve, I'm playing, but, if we have friends in Park and Rec, do a fundraiser, like something that raises decent money in a quick period.
Mhm.
Maybe it's something, if we're thinking about pickleball courts, that, we have this little bit of money that we can contribute towards and try. They want to spend this money. Like, if we give it, we don't want to give money
Right.
back to the state.
Cause then they won't,
Yeah,
yeah.
For the next meeting, can you look and see what we have left in that account that was donated to us? No,
Probably a
not the
couple thousand.
funds.
Oh,
Woodchuck?
Woodchuck,
Yeah, I have it.
because I know we spent, what, 6,000 or 7,000 out of it to finish the softball field
Yeah.
when we went over.
I can double check with Linda too. But I have it in my office somewhere.
Okay.
Or June.
And if we could use either the rest of that
yeah.
to go towards it, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that would be a huge hit. My kid
I don't
is
think you're wrong.
looking for something to do all the time. And for whatever reason, the really expensive basketball hoop I put up in my house is not the place to do it.
Mm.
And they would rather go over here, but plus,
I
it
hear
could be
Miss
a
Elmer.
3-season thing if we put up the barriers around the bottom of the pickleball court fencing,
Mm.
so we can just throw in a liner and make it an ice skating rink, perfectly
Right.
flat, 4 or
That-
5 inches
That's
thick.
another
Yeah.
thing that I thought
Mhm.
with the ice skating rink. I was like thinking of the projects we've done or that we wanted to do.
Mhm.
I mean, if we had a cold winter like we did this year, it would have been
Well,
awesome.
it wasn't cold right until the end.
I
Yeah,
know.
you're
And
right.
by the time
I
it
know.
got cold, we couldn't have hammered those things
No.
into the ground.
No, I mean, and we have to remember too, the resources are gonna be different for our water sources.
That was the other thing.
Big time.
We were in a
That's
drought,
gonna be
and I
unavailable.
didn't want to ask the fire department, who was already overwhelmed,
Correct.
to come and stand there for 2 hours,
the
3
ice.
hours
Right.
when we fill up the.
Yeah, this would be a skim level rink,
Mhm.
especially
Right.
if you got good concrete and all that.
Mhm.
You go with an inch and a half. to 2 inches.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's just something, I think those are all good ideas,
Mhm.
and I think if the funding's there, like, we're almost like begging for submissions, I think there was 1 or 2 people from the community there yesterday, the bell tower, is the project.
Yes,
The one in some form or fashion got approved, but Paul decided not to go with what the town came back with. But I don't know, I mean,
so if I have a number that I was given a year and a half ago, and we went off of that, that was gonna be very expensive. Because of the type of sport court that it was.
Yeah.
I think we can get away with, I don't know what would work better, concrete pavement.
and remember the material for New England, for the sport court, we have to, we had to watch that because there's something to do with the temperatures up here. It wasn't the best material for that actual,
That's up, the
Yeah.
sport court's up.
right,
I mean, I could go to I'll call Carl's tomorrow and talk to the new Steve, what was it, Kuznetsky, or I forget how you say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave me free quotes on the softball field. I'm wondering if they do the same thing for something like this. And I know a fencing guy that I can get a quote on, so we can get a good general idea of what the fencing will be. And then the lighting.
I was gonna say the lighting.
Lighting's easy. I'm not gonna even try and tie in. I'm just gonna
Solar, right?
do solar.
Yeah.
And they're bright enough to do solar. And, you know, the biggest thing is, I don't want this to turn into something where the town, the DPW has to maintain anything.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
That's not
That's
a
not gonna happen.
possibility either.
That's gonna be like hey, community, we gotta,
Mhm.
you know, scrape the deck and repaint it this weekend. Please come on down.
I know many pickleballers that will be
Oh, yeah.
there to help.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the easy season
I know.
because it's,
Right.
you know, it's not.
But I'll
But-
bet you we could also get maybe Dion and Son Flooring to give us their stencils
Mhm.
for the basketball court. And then we could just go out and paint them. You know, those guys have that expertise, and I know Don has always helped out people in the community, so maybe he'd be willing to do that. I don't know. But would you suggest that we put a proposal together and say, how much would you be willing to give us?
No, we say how much we need, I think. I haven't done a proposal, I've only read them and it looks,
Amy
Very
did the
much like-
proposal already.
yeah, you know,
But
it
at
looks
the time
like,
it was
this is the
50-50.
cost, this is
Yeah.
how much. Yeah, no.
We weren't even close.
No.
I mean, what's the worst case scenario? Like the thing that I've seen by documented other ones is that you're putting some type of effort on trying to get funds. That's where I was saying, like, if we had a fundraiser,
Mhm.
you know, where we said this is gonna be earmarked for that.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but the cap on CPA, the most you can ask for is 300,000, correct? Yeah. And that's
I
what
don't
I,
even know, but I know one was right around there.
yeah. That's what I put in for.
So then we'll ask for.
I mean, I never submitted the application, but I went through almost
The
all of
grant was
it.
already closed this year, and I don't know if they did a lot of them this year, because they did.
There was one that came through and I applied for that, but
Is that
I
the one that Senator Comerford sent me to give?
no, this is another one, and actually, it should be coming up soon because the deadline was March and it should be between May and April, but it was like $5,000, but
Yeah.
it's $5,000.
It's $5,000, but I'm
mean,
sure there's a
That could be
deadline.
a trash.
That's the one we have to spend it, so
You know what I mean?
the only problem with that is if the House has already passed the budget, the Senate votes this week or next week on the budget for next year. So no matter what money we get, it's not gonna be this year. I'm gonna have to work on them for July of 27.
And then we would have to go back in front of school committee to see,
They already gave us approval.
right, but we're still waiting on the geothermal.
No,
I know,
There's no geothermal.
I know, but did they
Right.
sign off saying absolutely no? Do you
No,
know
they
that?
said it was fine.
Oh, they
gave me
did?
approval.
Okay,
So did the select board.
oh, great. I thought we just had to wait on the
No,
geothermal.
I was going to ask that we wait, and they said it was fine. At that point, I'll have to go back and rewatch it, but
I know select board because we did that together,
Yeah.
but then for some reason I thought we just had to, I don't know, I could be totally
I
wrong.
spoke to a member of the school committee, and it's still a hope of theirs.
Got it. Okay,
But I mean,
okay. Yeah, that's
when they thought it was gonna be 3, they came back at over 9
correct.
million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
for sure. So if it's July of 27, so basically that's a year from now-ish, then you would submit the application, so it would be February of 27,
I think
right?
we usually have the meetings, like, I know in the colder months, that's when we're having our meetings before, like, the town meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get it on the warrant depending on, you know, where things are at and all that. But I almost say if we get it in earlier and say it's projected then, that there's usually like, they'll recommend tweaks and things to that nature. To
Okay.
make sure it's a little bit more viable of a
I
So
would-
there's not necessarily, if I like,
We'll have.
if we
we'll
do
have-
it early,
Yeah.
it's not like
You need
it's
to
too
spend it in 6
early.
months, right?
Okay, because that's what I thought, like, when I started to do it, and then I was like, oh, when we didn't do it, I didn't know if you retract your application and
No.
then have to redo it.
No, as long, they have a spreadsheet of like people using it over time, like, you know, because of how long it takes to do projects and things like that.
Okay.
I want this to happen. I've had so many people come up to me, is it pickleball court still
I
gonna
know,
happen?
I
I'm like,
know.
I'm trying, I can't promise anything,
I know.
I'm trying.
It's interesting because the other towns, like Belchertown, I know they did a fundraiser and they did a fundraiser through a pickleball tournament.
Yeah.
But they also have like, 5 different places that they could host it. So I think it's just trickier here because I have a gym floor or a
I wonder,
or
I wonder if
turf.
that company that just opened in Whately might do a fundraiser for us.
I don't know. I don't even know who put that up, to be honest.
Maybe it's worth it.
The Hatfield one, you mean? Right on?
The Hatfield.
Yeah. I mean, I can ask my pickleball friends. They would know.
Yeah, just say, hey, would they be interested in running, a pickleball tournament for us? Because I remember we were down in Long Meadow for a football game and they had a pickleball tournament there. And there wasn't a place to park anywhere near Long Meadow.
Really bad.
It was packed.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I mean, you get people that'll travel an hour or two to come and play in a pickleball tournament like that. And, put out some decent prizes and we'll get some stuff from, maybe Dick's and, stuff like that to hand out and Walmart, whatever
Local
else.
businesses.
Yeah. And we could do a nice one and, $5,000 from the grant, $5,000 from a tournament,
Yeah.
whatever we can get from the state to show, and whatever we have from Woodchuck left. And,
Yeah.
say, hey, can
This is
we
what we
make
can
this
do.
work?
Yeah.
And I think that without using that sport court, I can probably get the price down. But I want a good base. And the last thing we need to do
Yeah.
is spend
Yeah,
$100,000 paving that square footage
right.
and then have to have the fence taken down temporarily in
Oh, yeah.
5 years so they can redo it. I want to try and pick the best. I don't know whether concrete's going to work. I need to talk to somebody a lot smarter than me.
Well, when
I
we
don't
went
know
to
what the
Northampton, do you
surface-
remember when they were just finishing the court, when we
Yeah.
took that drive?
Oh, talk to Amory Murphy.
Yeah, and that was blacktop. Wasn't it? When we went and we got out and
Was it
walked?
done yet?
It wasn't done yet. One of them was.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah.
So
So
we'll
I could
figure it
reach
out.
out.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll get working again on that tomorrow.
I mean, there's enough people in the area that,
Right.
I mean, literally every town has pickleball of some
Yeah,
way,
Yeah,
shape, or
'cause-
form.
Buttery Brook or Bloody Brook is it
Buttery.
Buttery?
Yeah, buttery.
Okay,
But they have to rip theirs up.
they do. How long has it been there? Call the
Not
rec
even a
department.
year.
ask. Why?
Oh, wow.
Because it was installed wrong, or because of weather?
I don't know.
Okay. Good answer.
The other thing that I had on my little note was the 5K. Maybe I know I missed a couple meetings. Did we decide to not do it this year? Okay.
Because
I mean, obviously, I know we did. We decided not to do it, but what was,
emergency personnel resources
okay,
were not available, and I can't call in surrounding towns and pay detail rate for them.
it's okay. I just
Yeah.
was asked and I said, honestly, I don't remember discussing it, so I might have missed that meeting or something.
No, hopeful of next year, if things are better in the, fire,
Yeah,
police, ambulance world, because I have to have about 12 people on the safety team,
okay.
and that's for about 45 minutes, so everyone who was there donated their time to Park and Rec, which is awesome,
Yeah.
it's
Absolutely.
very thankful for that, but there's not even the bodies right now for that. Jim just had a revelation. Is he gonna tell us?
No.
Maybe
Okay.
more candy.
Moving on.
Let me think about it.
Moving on. No, so yes, that was the reason why. And I did ask, both chiefs, their opinion on it too.
And I
And
said, hold on. I mean, the way Easter fell this year, the events, April 5th, that was early, you know, and I think we usually do it April 11th.
Mhm.
So it makes total sense, but someone asked me, I said, I'm not quite sure. But
I
it makes
do-
total sense.
I do remember after our last year's, I did talk with Mitch Cook, and he proposed changing the route so that all of the area doesn't have to be like
So much-
locked down and so many working parts. He's like, maybe we could come up with a different
Hmm.
3.1 mile loop. There's so, I mean, it's so flat here, you know what I mean?
Right.
So he offered to like help me do
Right.
that, where you would only need like even like two
Sure.
personnel at that time.
Okay.
That was before, I mean,
Yeah,
things started to happen in town, but I mean, that's also, it doesn't have to be that route.
Right.
That's just the route that was already, he kind of established.
Wonder what like the distance would be to like to start from Breckenridge at the park, go up Huntington and come down either Meadowbrook or Mount Woodlawn, and then go back up and tumble down the hill. for the
That's a
finish.
good,
For the
that's a
finish.
Yeah, I
good
think
five
that-
And that
K.
would only be, you know, it'd
family
be like
fun run.
Heartbreak Hill a couple times.
Heartbreak Hill, Hadley's Heartbreak Hill.
But the tough part is you can't use like community members, volunteers to do traffic.
No.
Yeah, that,
Well, one of Wally's tractors though.
yeah.
One thing that came up at the CPA, kind of merging these two, is like a water bubbler on the bike route. You know how down at Nissan
Nissan.
has, I mean, I think the gentleman that had brought it up mentioned it hasn't been working. I know it hasn't been working because we used to always do a little pit stop there too for the bubbler and air for tires for the
Oh.
bikes and stuff. The brief discussion that came up around it was who's gonna maintain it, but like if Park and Rec owned it per se, and it was at some point along the bike route in Hadley, you know, maybe that's something we also wanna think about. I know I mean, I get out there a lot, this other guy who's out there and he's like, I really like that. I'm like, yeah, I do. You know, I run quarters for, you know, water, bathroom, everything on that, you know.
And I would assume you would have to get permission from DCR.
It is
Yes.
from.
Cause that's,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, just quickly, how about piggyback off the line that the farmers fill up their tractors with, right by the quarters. You know where they pull
Yeah,
up?
I don't know about that, but okay.
I don't know, you know,
Yeah. Tie into that.
Where's that, where?
No
It's
idea.
right past the quarters, there's a thing that comes out,
I
it's in
don't
the
think I've
road.
ever even noticed.
They fill their water.
Yeah, they
barrels-
fill
barrels
the water
on their
tanks up on their tractors.
Probably walk by it.
Yeah.
Well, it's on Railroad Street, it's not on
Yeah.
the bike trail,
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's even a possibility.
okay, I know where it is now.
It's almost right
Yes.
across from the auto body shop,
Yes, got it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be
Before
neat.
Rick's
That's enough, yeah.
I wonder how much something like that costs. Like, where do you even start?
There's gotta be a plumber in town, I know one, maybe we could get the, I don't know what kind of licenses and permits and all that stuff we'd need from DCR, but I'm sure in dealing with the state, there's gonna be a lot of it.
Yes,
How far it's gotta go down.
yeah,
when
I wonder
it's
how
gotta
much
be
the
turned
actual-
off.
unit or
Yeah.
cost. It'd be very
I
interesting.
mean, it doesn't look too elaborate when you see the places.
I had a buddy put two outside spigots and then copper pipe and it was $900
Oh.
last week. So you can just imagine, maybe a couple G's, you know. I would expect, I would assume, something like that, you know, to tie in.
You know, maybe we start.
$1,500, $200, something like that. I would put my starting bid. I think that's what it would be.
I mean, I think once Sherry Parsons might have brought up, or someone on that brought up on West Street, there used to be one too.
Yeah.
It was like-
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep,
Huh.
yep.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see why they stopped, probably maintaining them, you know?
Yeah, they must have had bursts and stuff.
I mean,
Kept
stuff
them
like
up,
that is
they'd
also-
Shut them down in the fall and for winter and
Mm.
stuff. And then they crack and they become an eyesore.
Right.
And they're not usable. You can
Stuff
the
like
same
that is all
amount.
the stuff they're
Yeah.
bringing up in the meeting, and it
Yeah.
really, like I suggested,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I know.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would, you know,
I know.
so there's,
Something like, it's like park and
Right.
recreational,
Right.
not just sports.
right.
I know. That would
Community.
be, yeah, community.
Okay. So,
Jim, do you have anything else?
I have nothing else.
Got nothing for us.
Steve Higgins, do you have anything else for your
No.
last meeting?
No, other than that, I would volunteer, to sneak in a chicken to go, and get gather up the band that we used to do it, whatever. There's only a few of us, and, it's a neat
Oh,
little,
look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
The damn song?
Holy.
yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it? I can't see it.
Just
That's
the
nice.
tie-in, like the
That's
tie-in is like,
just,
Yeah,
Fill up your water bottle or drink,
oh,
snap.
6,500.
yeah, I like pickleball. Lol.
Does it produce sparkling water?
I know. Is that the fountain of youth?
Bubble,
Oh,
my goodness.
Oh, there we go. This one, but
I want
you
that
have to have
flat.
something like that, so it didn't get broken, because something like this would be ruined.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean.
That's what I was thinking about, you know. Boing, didn't want
Oh, yeah,
I know.
Let's see,
Hmm,
there's a bunch of them. Outdoor drinking. There's a-
that quenches that item.
I know.
It was such a beautiful
It's such a
thought.
nice
I
idea.
know.
Maybe I'll propose it to one of
One person on that big, fire hose stand under the spigot.
Why don't we just put a garden hose out with like a gold garden
Fill it
hose
up.
flag on it?
Hold on to your bottle, I'm turning it around, Jim.
I don't even want to know how much this one is, because they don't even have a price on it.
Compliments
Kinda
of Park and Rec.
Hmm.
There's no
I could
price
do,
on
I
the,
could do a free water
there's no
stand.
price on the menu, you don't belong in that restaurant.
Yeah.
It'd be cheaper to pay kids for 5 years to hand out water bottles.
I
Oh
know.
my goodness. No, it's, that day is $1,500 grab if you do it right. You know, chickens go 7 to 1 work day, done it for 10 or 11 years. You start at 7, you're out of there. Last serving 1 o'clock, 1:30. It's not a bad gig, you're just
I
flipping.
just can't do it in the fall, because we have.
The
to-
Legion
no.
or the club?
I would reach out, I'll go to the club and see what their schedule looks like. And then put that out there. Cause usually they're booked by now, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's been going on. You know, I only know of, like the Legion used it, for the fundraiser for the Furnace Zone. I don't know. I'll reach out. I'll check it with Rich and those guys. Any availability. Cause they're like, oh yeah, if you do it around the 4th, and we're gonna do it like July 5th, remember?
Yeah.
Every year. And, not a lot of people around, but they lived off of Kenny's favorite recipe, his legendary recipe. And I have the secret.
Which were good.
Yeah.
I had this clam chowder recipe.
Cool.
He didn't give that out to a lot of people.
No.
I-
So that's an idea. That's all I
Yeah.
had.
That's a great idea.
I'd volunteer you for more of that, I think.
I volunteer myself.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Cutting veggies, rolling up,
Right.
washing spuds, rolling them up, stick them in. Still got the ovens out there. pretty
Yeah.
sure. I haven't been out there in years. But yeah.
We're at the club.
Yeah, out there. That's all.
I think
Up to speed and all
There's
that.
been grad parties and stuff. where
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. That's all I got, really.
All right, so we're gonna bring you back for a guest appearance on the Park and Rec Commission
Yes, we sure are.
for chicken dinner.
Sure.
So Chair, you have to make the motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I'm in favor.
You want-